What do people think makes them look cool, but actually makes them look like a douchebag? Pretending to know, or be something when actually having no idea. I have a coworker who has the gift of gab, and is very proud of his ability to give people false assurances while being extremely vague, essentially just bombarding them with words until they're satisfied. It's a useful trick, I suppose, but when you hear him do it in real time, you realize he's just a very good liar. Vandalizing rocks, trees, etc. in parks and nature preserves. It takes you out of the experience when you're scanning a gorgeous landscape and your eyes land on Butthead plus Ding Dong Forever, in bright colors. Doing something nice for someone and videotaping it for clout. Teachers who are proud of many of their students not passing. If I ever get a teacher like that, maybe I should ask why they are proud for being a bad teacher. Constantly telling people about the women they've slept with or were otherwise involved with. I knew a guy like this in college. He was one of the most obnoxious dudes I've known. Failing school does not inherently make you a douchebag, but bragging about it as if it's something that is cool isn't the best presentation of character either. Picking on weird kids. Sharing their trash taste in music out loud on public transportation. Gatekeeping a music artist like they discovered them and are the whole reason for their success. Don't get me wrong, support the artist, but don't be that asshole that determines who is worthy of a common trend. Handing a homeless guy a $10 bill and posting it on YouTube. People who tease guys for drinking girly drinks. If a guy wants to drink a strawberry daiquiri, let him drink it in peace. You know what is manly. Drinking whatever the fuck you want without giving a shit what people think. Edit. Thanks for the awards, people. Tons of manly energy in this thread. Being an asshole to other people to boost your own ego. The line between joking and bullying can be a thin one, and a lot of douchebags either don't see it or they just don't care. So in many schools due to COVID we can't leave the classroom during the break, and my classmates fucking love to watch TikToks on full fucking blast. They have been doing it for the last fucking year. Gatekeeping a fandom or hobby. You aren't a real fan of XYZ band if you started listening to them after this album. You're not a real beer drinker if you don't like IPAs. Supporting a celebrity that doesn't give a shish *t about your existence online to the extent of bullying and name-calling people who don't worship that celebrity. Bragging how many people you've slept with. Bonus for referring to them as body count. Blasting music in public transportation without headphones. Declaring themselves to an alpha male, high-value women, or anything like that. It screams immaturity and lack of self-awareness. When people film themselves giving money or food to the homeless. Ultimate douchebag, or they just want to brag about it and don't care. Posing as being brutally honest. Constantly invalidating others is not cool and speaks of your inability to feel validated by anything other than people. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. Said by every douche about to get their ass kicked because they pushed too far. That whole I don't give a fuck attitude online where people just hate everyone and be super edgy. It doesn't make you look cool, just makes you look like a dick. Putting an insanely loud exhaust on a shit car and then accelerating to rev max on a 200-meter stretch of road before having to brake because otherwise you crash into the car in front of you, while listening to some shit hardcore or hardstyle music at a volume otherwise only experienced at festivals. Having a phone conversation on speakerphone with the volume turned all the way up. Hate those people. Judging another person for their interests even if the other person's interests don't affect or hurt anyone else. The other day I had an acquaintance tell me how a friend of mine who likes to collect Funko Pops must be such a virgin even though the guy is literally married with a kid on the way. Being proud of their own ignorance. It's okay to not be smart. It's not okay to be proud of it. Edit. So to clarify, it's okay to be wrong as long as you're willing to admit it. It's okay to not be naturally intelligent. It's okay to not know everything. What is not okay is being willfully ignorant and or stubbornly clinging to patently false information. Driving around residential areas too fast in cars with really loud engines and those exhausts that go bang 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 all the time. They look like nothing other than inconsiderate assholes. People who are dicks to other people for no reason. Being proud of not reading a book since high school. Undermining a person every time they try to talk. My ex did this to me and the amount of confidence I've lost is terrible. Still recovering after 3 years. Teasing someone when they gather guts to talk in a group and then laughing is useless. Cannot explain how badly it hurts. Edit. Thank you all for the lovely comments. I appreciate each one of you. People who say anything they want. Insults, racist slurs, pure meanness, and then when they get called on it, say, it was just a joke. The ones who don't know how to get attention so they start gossiping about everyone. And I'm like, I know your life is not interesting but please have some respect for others and for yourself. Revving your engines and blasting shitty music through a city neighborhood regardless of the time. I live in Jersey City and this happens quite often. You don't look cool. Saying they're an alpha, or that, insert name, is a beta, or other crap like that. Along with pretending they're an alpha, and acting like an ass. Using a cell phone in public on speaker. Edit. Didn't expect this to blow up. Get a headset. Personally, I find this practice about as acceptable as farting in a crowded elevator. Also judging people for their music choices. Like when someone goes through your iPod, Spotify, whatever and is all, ew you listen to this, then proceeds to tell you about the super edgy music they listen to that no one really knows yet, face with rolling eyes. Being condescending to waitstaff and other service people. Calling themselves alpha or typa, it's almost like it's code for massive prick. Acting like virginity is a bad thing, or conversely that having had sex makes you a better person. Neither are true. Predatory flirting at the gym. I'm just going to go out on a limb here because I could be the only one who thinks this, but selling skinny teas or teddy bear vitamins on media. Racing, speeding loudly down a street. Whenever someone goes roaring by, everyone on the sidewalk collectively shakes their heads and says, "What a douchebag," like clockwork, haha. I've had dates who were dismissive, slightly rude to servers and it was a huge turnoff. Being a former inmate. I've talked to many people who thought that being arrested and put in prison made them look tough. No, it makes you look stupid. People who flaunt, brag about their expensive car. Especially the ones whose parents bought it for them. I saw a truck yesterday with a sticker that said, "My other ride is a redhead." So that. Littering. I'm not entirely sure the logic behind it, but that gets my vote. I assume that those idiots who throw shit out of their cars, or leave all their trash behind while camping or hiking must think they look pretty cool because they don't care about nature. Keyboard warriors who are actually scaredy cats in real life. Pants sagging way too low. Some people even have belts, but their pants be around their knees, literally. Bragging about their sex, love life. Cars that make a lot of noise and just need a muffler. Riding my bumper on the highway. We get it. You're so cool that your life and the lives of everyone on the road don't matter. God forbid you spend 3 more seconds driving slightly behind someone else. Diesel trucks rolling coal. Endlessly talking and bragging about their private lives. Example: I had a real dick of a boss who once said, "Man, it wasn't yesterday I got laid with that woman," after a customer left, which made me and my colleagues somewhat uncomfortable. He also talked about how his wife better show those TTs for everything he does. I'm not interested and I think it is super trashy to talk like that. Edit. He isn't my boss anymore. Acting like they don't care about anything. Like sure it was cool in the early 2000s, but now when I see a dude acting like he's too cool to like movies, or games, or hanging out, it's just so cringy. Like bro, you're not special for saying you don't like anything. And I don't mean introverts, like myself, who genuinely don't want to do stuff sometimes. I mean more the dude who will agree to hang out, and then the whole time is just complaints and, "This is so lame." Driving expensive cars and cutting people off. Anyone who puts you down for your job or level of education. The worst humans. Girls that proudly refer to themselves as bitchy. Being a bitch doesn't make you look cool, it just makes you embarrassing. Bragging about not having a TV. Great. You are so much more cultured than me. Spitting in public or indoors. This happens in my school, it's disgusting. Your loud ass pickup truck with no muffler. Asterisk we get it. You vape. Asterisk. People who think consuming certain media makes them as a person better. For example, some people think as long as they listen to loud rap music in public, people will think they are cool. Really fucking loud cars driving after midnight. Making jokes by insulting others. This is very specific, but I once knew a bloke who thought he was cool for not liking Game of Thrones, which is fine, but would then post spoilers of it on social media along the lines of, I don't watch or care about Game of Thrones, but X died in the most recent episode, unlucky if you saw this. I fell victim of it once and I literally thought my blood was boiling. I was so angry. The lesson here is probably to stay off social media before you've seen the most recent episode of a show you love. But still, fuck that guy. Judging people who dress differently to them. Constantly talking about your sex life, how you cheat on girls and what you did with them. I'm speaking strictly of someone speaking of them in a belittling way and kind of disrespectful. I had a classmate who literally all he cared about was sex and how many girls he could bang. Every single conversation was about that, to the point of him fucking most of his friends' exes and shit. He filmed a bunch of girls without their consent too and brags about this and cheating on girls, which he made them believe he really liked them, also laughing at how he treats them and shit. I don't get how this is cool in any shape or form, and so many guys looked at him like a god or some shit. Like genuinely looked up to him and wanted to be the same way. It's extremely toxic, douchey and just wrong emo. Being an underachiever. Somehow between all those underdog movies and the troop of smart people being socially inept or wealthy people being morally bankrupt, the public consciousness has somehow shifted to the idea that being below average is something to brag about. I've met people who literally brag about not reading or working out, and that's honestly just sad. Ed Hardy clothing. Being a dick to teachers. Being rude and or elitist to non-regular customers just because they aren't your buddies, or because they are ignorant of what your establishment is selling and have genuine questions. Happens a lot at high-end coffee shops, speakeasies, bars, restaurants, etc. To be clear, for the sake of argument, I'm talking about well-behaved customers, not Karens. The huge metal balls dudes hang from the tow hitch on their pickup truck. Douche. Bragging about their income or material possessions. Revving their engine for no reason. I am quite guilty of this at times, but playing loud music in your car, especially if you have subwoofers. Picking on someone in a group and trying to get everyone else to laugh at them. Not in a asterisk hey, everyone's joking around asterisk kind of way, in a being a nasty piece of work and embarrassing the person kind of way. People like this suck. Hey, I have bipolar disorder, which means I'll beat your ass to a bloody pulp if you piss me off. Fear me. Yeah, it goes untreated. So what? Taking their dogs into large crowds for no good reason. Those plastic testicles hanging off the back of pickup trucks. Immediate douche alert. Edit. I forgot that they're called truck nuts, or nuts. Being mean to serving staff. Thanks for watching. See you later.